Hello, everyone. On this podcast episode, I'm going to continue off where I left off, where I talked about how the devil tries to convince you. And when the devil tries to convince you, it'll try to convince you by force. It'll try to tell you that, you must be evil. It will never tell you, that you have a choice to be good or evil, but the opposite. God is the one that gives you freedom. Because God gave you free will, God will always honor your free will. He will always tell you you have a choice to be a good person or a bad person, to go to heaven or to go to hell. But the devil doesn't like giving you free will. The devil wants to force you to do evil. So you know how they force you to do evil? By telling you that this world is a world of randomness. This world is a world ruled by evolution. And evolution states that, it's the survival of the strongest, the survival of the fittest. The strongest rule and the weakest die. So, how do you convince someone to be evil? By telling them that your life is hanging, by a thread. If you don't be an evil person, if you don't kill those who are weaker than you, you're not considered the strongest, now are you? If you don't harm those who are innocent, you're not the strongest. You must prove that you're the strongest. You must prove that you're better than everyone. And how do you prove that you're better than everyone? Killing children, raping women, kidnapping, harming those who have done nothing wrong to you, stealing from others, just being outright cruel and evil. That's how you prove you're the strongest. Because the strongest survive and the weakest die. Because the weakest die, why not kill your parents when they've grown too old to live on their own? Why not kill your children who are too young to defend themselves? They're young and weak, they're old and feeble. They're young and weak. Why not murder them? The weak shall die and the strong shall rule. That's the mindset of an evil person. There's no compassion in the eyes of an evil person. In the heart of an evil person, kindness, compassion, love no longer exists. Cruelty, violence, betrayal, and evil rules the mind of an evil person. They will never trust you. They will never treat you with basic respect or dignity. And they'll always be out to betray you. That's the mindset of an evil person. The moment they think you're weak, they will try to kill you. The moment they find a weakness, they will use it against you. That's the mindset of an evil person. No matter how well you treat them, no matter how many times you've helped them, the moment they find you at your weakest state is when they betray you the most. This is the mindset of an evil person. They will never treat you well. Even when they pretend to treat you well, it's only a passing wind. Sooner or later, they'll betray you. And this is what you need to be careful of. Evil people love using evolution to justify their evil deeds. They love claiming that because this is a world that's not ruled by God, they don't see God anywhere. It means God doesn't exist. Since God doesn't exist, why not be evil? Why not kill your friends when they need you the most? Why not kill your children when they no longer serve their purpose? If your children no longer serve their purpose, kill them. If your parents who gave birth to you, who helped you your entire life, when they no longer serve their purpose, when they get old and feeble, murder them. That's the mindset of an evil person. That's the mindset of a person who believes that the fittest survives and the weak should be killed. Because the fittest survives, those who are weak must be murdered. They must be cannibalized on. They must be preyed upon. And this is what you need to be careful of. You know, many people have been using evolution as an excuse to kill people. They've been using it as an excuse to harm others. Science can be easily used as an excuse to do evil because science is neutral. Because it's neutral, anyone can use science to justify their evil deeds. Anyone. And the thing is, science is often wrong. They don't see, you don't see when science is wrong because people love throwing, scientists love hiding their faults. They love hiding their faults. For example, in the past, it was these very scientists that told you the world was flat. It was also these scientists that told you, nah, this world is not flat. In the past, it was these very scientists that told you, right, that when a sperm goes to, the fastest sperm wins the race. When it comes to, when during during conception, right, the fastest sperm wins the race. It's based off randomness. The fittest survives, right? Isn't that the mindset of scientists? The fittest survives. So the fittest sperm wins the race, right? Come to find out it's a lie. The egg chooses. During conception, the egg chooses its mate. The egg chooses a sperm. It's not the fittest. It's not the fastest that get there that survives. This world is a world filled with lies. And the greatest lie is this world is a world of randomness. The greatest lie you'll ever hear is that this world is a world of randomness. It's not. There is no randomness to this world. There's a purpose for everything in this world. When a scientist does not understand how the world works, right? That's when they tell you it's a world, it's based off randomness. When a scientist does not understand the process of something, it'll tell you it's because of randomness. And then in future, when someone proves them wrong, they'll try to sweep that, their lies under the rug. There's no randomness to this world. This world can be random. This world follows the laws of duality. Because this world appears random, proves that it's not random at all. Because we follow the laws of duality. If you find one aspect, its equal and opposite must also be true. If you see the world as random from your perspective, it's because the equal and opposite perspective is true. Because this world is not random in any way, shape, or form. That's why you believe it's random. And do you know why you believe it's random? Because when something is too intelligent, right? Those who are lesser, who aren't as intelligent as they are, will never be able to understand it. It's just a fact. If a puzzle is too complex to be, if a puzzle is infinitely complex, most people will never be able to solve it. Because it's infinitely complex, scientists keep believing that it's random. It's unsolvable. It makes no logical sense. But just because a puzzle makes no logical sense does not mean it can't be solved. Just because the world appears random from your perspective does not mean the world is random. The world is only random from your perspective because you don't understand how the world works. Because you don't understand how the world works, that's why you think this world is ruled by randomness. That's why you think this world is ruled by evolution. That's why you think evolution itself is random. There's no randomness to this world. This world is governed by God. Because God is infinitely intelligent. The rules God created are too infinitely complex for a scientist to understand. Because a scientist does not understand it in any way, shape, or form, he thinks it's random. And he only believes it's random because he can't understand it. If you don't understand something, a good scientist would tell you that I don't understand it. But a bad scientist, an evil scientist will lie and tell you it's random. It happens by randomness. Why? Because you can explain things easier and still pretend to be smart. You can still pretend to be a smart person by lying through your teeth and saying that every process that you don't understand, every phenomenon that you don't understand in this world was created by randomness. Is when you don't understand how things work, is when you start lying and saying it's all by randomness. Because you don't want people to know that you don't understand what's going on. You don't want to lose your job. That paycheck you receive, every week or every 2 weeks. You don't want to lose that paycheck. You don't want people to look down on you that you don't have it all figured out. Because you don't want people to look down on you that you don't have it all figured out. What do you say? When you don't have it all figured out, you still want people to believe you have it all figured out, you have to lie and say this world is a world of randomness. And this is a fact. When scientists don't understand something, they always say it was created out of randomness. It's a phenomenon that occurred out of randomness. Until future scientists prove them wrong. Until future scientists prove them wrong, the scientists right now will always say that evolution is based off randomness. It's not. It goes against the laws of duality. It goes against the laws of duality. And this world is a world governed by duality. Because things appear random, it proves that there's no randomness to this world. Because things appear illogical, proves that this world is very logical. Because this world is too logical for you, you're incapable of understanding it. The more illogical you are, the more the world will appear illogical from your point of view. The more logical you are, the more the world will appear logical from your point of view. Your perspective determines whether this world is logical or not. If you aren't that smart, this world will always appear random and illogical to you, but not to anyone else, just you. If you're very smart, this world, you will always find the pattern within the randomness. You will always find a way to solve that infinitely complex puzzle. This is how this world works. There's an answer to everything. There's a logic behind everything that occurs in this world. Because God rules by logic. God rules by intelligence. Because God is intelligent. God is logical. And since this world is God, this world must be logical. This world must be intelligent. Do not let scientists deceive you into believing that God doesn't exist. And do not let scientists deceive you into doing evil deeds by claiming that God doesn't exist. And, this world is a world of randomness. So because this world is a world of randomness and, a world based off survival of the fittest, kill your children, kill your elderly, betray your friends, betray your family. Do not let them deceive you. Do not let them ruin your own life. Because that's the mindset of a person who doesn't understand the world. When you don't understand the world is when you become evil. The less you understand the world, the more evil you become. The more cruel you are. The more sadistic you are. The more insane you are. Protect yourself from insane people, because they're the ones who love to corrupt you the most. They're the ones who love to force you to do evil the most. Kind people will always give you the free will to do what you want. Evil people are always the one that will always try to force you to be an evil person just like them. They will always try to corrupt you to be just like them. Do not fall for their lies, and it's all lies. This world is filled with lies. Whether you're a scientist or not, whether it's a world of science or not, whether it's a world of religion or not, there are a lot of liars out there. So that's it for today's podcast episode. I pray for everyone's safety and understanding. Amen.